Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, we know Arsenal's next signing is going to be a new winger from the market after signing Alexander Zinchenko. Fabrizio Romano, David Sane, and Charles Watts have all confirmed, including the likes of Freddie Paxton, have all said, in consensus that Arsenal will be signing a winger after Alexander Zinchenko. Now, Zinchenko is done, so we're waiting for our next signing, who is rumored to be a winger. But the problem is that we do not know the name of the new incoming winger, and we also do not know, on top of that list, apart from Rafinha, who was very, very high, who exactly is second. In this video, I want us to dive into 5 wingers that Arsenal will be looking to sign in the next week or so. And what I want us to do here, lads, is compare the likelihood. We are not comparing their quality because they've already been linked with Arsenal. And the fact that they've been linked with Arsenal, that means they tick the boxes for Mikel Arteta and Edu and whatever kind of requirements they've actually said. So what I want us to look at is the likelihood. What is the likelihood that a player will sign for Arsenal this summer as our next winger? We'll look at players like Leroy Sane and from Leroy Sane to Noah Lang, and I think there's some very, very interesting odds we can come up with here, especially with players that no one expects Arsenal to be signing. Hit the like button for me. Get in the comment section and tell me the next winger, the next signing is a winger. So give me your name. Just talk to me. Tell me, Cossy, I want this one to sign. Now, my favorite is not going to be signing for Arsenal this summer, so I don't need to give you a name. But among these ones, of course, you can pick one and let me know which player you want. Number 1, I've gone with Marco Asensio. He's been linked with Arsenal for quite some time. I do not think, this one is a very, very possible one. Now that Gareth Bale has left Real Madrid and gone to America in the Major League Soccer, I feel Marco Asensio is kind of important to Real Madrid at the moment. And also, I think the reason as to why he was primarily linked with a move away from the Santiago Bernabeu is because of game time. I mean, he felt Bale is ahead of him. He felt that many players were really ahead of him, and I still think some players are still ahead of him. But I think with Gareth Bale now out of the way, he might find himself getting some game time. So Madrid are no longer buying players this summer unless otherwise. They are not even being linked with any other signings. They've signed in Aurelien Tchouameni. I think they were really thinking about signing Kylian Mbappe, and the fact that it disappointed them, they have quit the transfer window. Sorry, Madrid fans. There is nothing we can do for you. But Marco Asensio, could it be one that can be done deep down in the summer? If he moves out of Real Madrid, they might need to find a replacement. And I don't think if it's going to be done late in the summer, then I don't think they'll find a replacement. But the question is, are they going to give him a new contract? Is he going to extend his contract at Real Madrid, or do they really want to sell him as a priority? Now, Arsenal and AC Milan are both are the 2 clubs now that have been recently linked with him, including Man United and a couple of other clubs. But the serious ones have been Arsenal and Manchester United. So the probability of him signing for Arsenal, the likelihood that he signs for us this summer, given the fact that Madrid could want to keep him after Gareth Bale leaving. Noah Lang has not signed for AC Milan, so Milan could try to agree a deal for Marco Asensio if he gets available fully on the market. Out of 10, let's go with 4 out of 10. I think there are very many stronger factors for him to stay, especially at Real Madrid. He might choose Arsenal, the Premier League, over AC Milan. I do not have worries about that. But Marco Asensio, 4 out of 10, I reckon this one will be staying at Real Madrid. Edon Zagrova, that is our option number 2. He's been linked with Arsenal very, very closely. Of course, we know the relationship between Arsenal and Lille Metropole in terms of signing players. Is one of the players that I actually suggested as swap deals for Nicola Pepe. Give them Nicola Pepe and go and get Edon Zagrova and Amadou Onana. Obviously, it is never going to work. But Arsenal interested in Edon Zagrova. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, no official interest, no official bid has ever been placed on the table of Lille Metropole from Arsenal Football Club. Now, he only signed for them in January from Shakhtar Donetsk. I do not think they will be selling this one. However much he's appreciated by Edu and Mikel Arteta, however much he's a very quality player, I do not think Lille Metropole are ready to let him go. They signed him just this January from Shakhtar Donetsk. I think they will want to keep him for another season, another 2 seasons, and probably try to find out what could be the highest market value they could sell him at. So with Edon Zagrova, I'm not really convinced. And also the fact that Arsenal are looking for someone with a bit of experience. If you look at the other players we've been linked with, Jared Bowen, Christopher Nkuku, Leroy Sane, Marco Asensio, we are looking for that kind of experience. Someone who's going to come in to directly compete with Bukayo Saka, but also has got some pedigree. We are adding some experience to the side. Edon Zagrova, very, very young player. I don't think Arsenal will go for this one. So the chances, out of this 10, I'm going to drop a 3 out of 10 on Edon Zagrova. I don't see Arsenal completing this one, honestly. Yes, rumors are there, and rumors are there to be reacted to. And the way we are reacting to this one is that it will not happen. Now, number 3, Leroy Sane. I'm gonna tell you that Leroy Sane is a very possible move for Arsenal this summer. Now, Leroy Sane has been put onto the market by Bayern Munich, offered to Real Madrid. Madrid do not have any intention to buy the player this summer. Arsenal and Chelsea are now the 2 clubs that are closely linked with the player. His numbers are absolutely fine. We are not talking about numbers here. We are talking about probabilities. Probability of signing for the club. I think Sane is likely. I'm not saying it is close. I'm not saying Arsenal will get it done. But I'm saying if you look at the relationship Leroy Sane shared with Arsenal, and Jacob Benz, they're reporting that the priority for Arsenal in terms of a winger this summer, before they turned their heads to Rafinha, was Leroy Sane. I won't be very surprised if Arsenal just feel like we need to go back and revisit our interest in Leroy Sane. The player has a very good relationship with Mikel Arteta, and I think that could be a factor in pushing him towards Arsenal as compared to any other side. And also, when you think about the £60 million that has been placed onto the table, has been placed on the head of Leroy Sane, that is the amount of money Arsenal are planning on signing Rafinha for. So there is no problem with us paying £60 million. The problem with the Rafinha deal was Rafinha wants Barca and Leeds United want a bidding war. Arsenal said, no, we are not giving you that. We're not giving you a bidding war. If he wants to go to Barca, then sell him there. And eventually he went to sign for Barca at around 75 million euros. Arsenal never wanted to pay that much. This is where the Leroy Sane deal makes a lot of sense. The player has not really a contract, but the player has a good relationship with Mikel Arteta first and foremost. And the second thing, Bayern are asking for the amount of money that we are actually willing to pay. In my opinion, Bayern could even I don't think they will go below £60 million. It could be difficult, but that the kind of overcrowding around there at Bayern, Mane, Coman, Serge Gnabry, who's now signed a new contract, and a couple of other players, just makes you think Leroy Sane is a possible deal. So keep an eye on this one. Damesh Sheth and Sky Sports have said Arsenal want a winger, and a big transfer can still happen at Arsenal. I will keep an eye on Leroy Sane, and out of 10, the possibility, the likelihood, out of 10, let's go with a 6 out of 10. Let's go with a 6 out of 10. It is one deal that I think can happen and will shock many. Will shock absolutely very, very many. Now on to Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto is at Wolves. He has a 5-year deal, still on until 2027. Only 22 years of age. He's played in the Premier League. His market value at the moment is around 32 million pounds, but his contract being around 5 years, I think Wolverhampton Wanderers could think about exploiting any club that comes in to sign him. I don't think they want to sign him, and the player could want to make a move. I got no problems with that. He's one that would actually benefit Arsenal, and a deal that would actually make a lot of sense. Is it one that Arsenal will do? It's a complicated one. This one is a very, very complicated one. High talent, high quality player, but a difficult deal to do with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Unless if they decide they will sell in order to facilitate other moves this summer. I don't see them try to sell Pedro Neto. I don't see, when I open their brains, it is not in there. They would rather sell Ruben Neves. They will not sell Pedro Neto, especially not this summer. So this one, Pedro Neto, out of 10, I will sincerely say it's a 4 out of 10. The likelihood it happens is a 4 out of 10. I don't see that one happen. I really don't see that one happen. But one that I can't say that can happen is Memphis Depay from Barcelona to Arsenal Football Club. Now, we've been linked with Memphis Depay just as Man United and Tottenham Hotspur. And I think this one is one that makes a lot of sense. Arsenal wants someone to compete with Saka, so we might not need someone who's very, very expensive. And Barca could ask for just about 25 to 30 million pounds to sign Memphis Depay. One, I think it's a player that is trying to prove a point, a player that would be very open to joining a club like Arsenal, a club that he knows will give him that opportunity to shine. And I think he will look at Arsenal as traveling back in time to his career at Lyon. That is what I think. It is another step to reawaken his career. And Mikel Arteta loves such kind of players, can play on the left, on the right, down through the middle, can also play as an attacking midfielder. And one of the things I've liked about him is that his statistics and numbers are not dropping regardless of the position he is actually playing in. So this is a deal that financially makes a lot of sense. It is a deal that Mikel Arteta will be happy to do, because if he brings in Memphis Depay, then he knows he can easily pick Saka ahead of Memphis Depay match day in, match day out. So I think Memphis Depay would be happy to join a club like Arsenal, because there are not so many players ahead of him. Like at Barcelona, where you have Ferran Torres, where you have Memphis Depay. You have Ferran Torres, you have Ansu Fati, you have you have Rafinha now ahead of him. You have Ousmane Dembele as well ahead of him. He might just think, okay, I might play down through the middle, but also Ansu Fati, Pedri, Frankie de Jong are all available. My career at Barca is in absolute jeopardy. Why don't I move to Arsenal and try to make it work? So I think this one, I'll rate it at a 7 out of 10. If Arsenal want it, it is one that can easily get done. But the one that I think is very, very possible and makes a lot of sense is this guy, Noah Lang. Now, we've been linked with Noah Lang before, right from last summer and also in January. The player himself came out and said, Arsenal wanted to sign me in January because they lost one of their forwards, but there was not enough time to get the deal done. Milan have been very, very close to signing the player, according to reliable reports, but the deal actually fell apart. I don't know why, but I think Noah Lang is one that makes a lot of sense. Very young, would cost Arsenal around 30 to 33 million euros, I think. And he's one that would bring that kind of competition to Saka and also to Gabriel Martinelli. Can also play down through the mid as well. He's been at Ajax, so he's got that kind of education. I love Ajax, honestly. Noah Lang, 8 out of 10. If Arsenal revisit this one, it happens, right? If they revisit it, it happens. Club Brugge will not stand in his way. If we revisit this one, it happens. So my next winger at Arsenal, the likelihood is either Noah Lang or Leroy Sane. Keep your eyes very open on those two, but I would prefer Leroy Sane, and the other option then would be Noah Lang. See you soon.